Yeah, this is Point Black, coming in hard and off the card, coming with the flow straight from the barrio, and coming with that heat from the damn street. This is PBNN Point Black National News, the late and the great edition, and the ghetto edition as well, because this is what we must do. You know what I'm saying? We come with the facts, the crack backs, and the boom bip to the lion ass lips. Because, like I said, this is what we must do at all times. This is called the morning edition of the Point Black, PBNN, Point Black, National News. Views and comments only disclosed or personally the views of Point Black and Point Black only. Oh yeah. Now today, before we go in, there's a few things that we must look at, that we have to start to pay attention to. And one of the first things I think that we're going to get into is the fact of how the fake invasion country or the fake invasion set of people that call themselves creating some kind of country in a land that's already, a country of its own. It's a continent and, a huge one at that. To invade there and say that you set up a country and then call it a capital and then make that capital, seem to have any form of life in itself based on the people who claiming the land in itself. Now, one of the things we have to look at is, them saying how they're going to destroy the Palestinian people and knock them back to the Stone Age. You know what I'm saying? Seeing certain racist rhetorics all over the planet as well, everywhere they go. And they even have the audacity to say that they control America. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you probably did in Germany just before the war. Sacrificing little children, probably. You know what I'm saying? And many other issues. And you sitting up there saying that you run America, but you're not from America. You're not even from this land, many of you. You know what I'm saying? To have the audacity to speak that way and say that you control it. How you control it? By bribery, money, scheme, violence, killing, murder, assassinations, and all kinds of other devil worship, sacrificial bullshit. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? And when you say that you will knock the Palestinian people back to the Stone Age, the sad part about that is that the same one who's saying it, netting jackass Yahoo, jackass Yahoo, and the rest of his motherfucking conglomerate jackass set of clowns, you know what I'm saying, don't realize that you came from the motherfucking Stone Age. And what you are doing shows very well where you came from. And know that you are not indigenous to that land. By your treatment of the Palestinian people and what you have compound into your backup, into your support that you're getting from the different set of people, tells us that you are not from there. So when you say you are not the Palestinian people back to the Stone Age, it simply shows us that you are from the Stone Age. You know what I'm saying? Talking about your Israel. You're more like Kazarek gypsies wandering the damn earth. Why are you talking? That nonsense you talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Kazaraks or whatever you call them, gypsies and shit. And you up here trying to act as if like you run America. Yeah, through bribery, con games, schemes, underhanded shit, you know what I'm saying? Blood sacrifice, all kinds of non-cynical garbage. Then you try to act as if like the land that you say in your book, in your God, you know what I'm saying, gave you the land in which you invaded, and now killing the people that was already there before you invade. And got the audacity to call them names and all types of animals and all kinds of stupid shit. The same slave-matic bullshit you brought into Africa to the transatlantic slave trade, you clown. You think we will ever forget that? And talking about you're from this land. No, you are not. You was not here many years ago. And you know it. You invaded this land as well. So don't give me that bullshit. Then you have the audacity again to write and rewrite and unscrupulate a book into giving you any type of life as a race of people, and saying that God gave you that land and the right to go in there and invade and kill off the people. That's what you're saying. But when we look at the book that you so claim that you write your name into, using Ra, or Ra, sun god of Egypt, and talking about you, the chosen people, and all of this bull, was something that you and your conglomerates and probably Gutenberg and them, wrote up not too long ago. But you control the language in which the book in which you gave to them, calling it a Bible and giving it to them and letting them read it. And then when they read it and they go to church and they praise it, they're reading that shit into the minds of the children. Because you're known for sacrificing children as well. So don't give me that bullshit. You wrote a book and wrote yourself into that book and then gave it to the people as if you spread it all around the world by violence, murder, and killing. And now the people that are preaching that shit in the churches, and have the people believing that you have any kind of existence or you existed other than murder, killing, violence, and bloody murder. And African people should be well up in arms about this one, because you know for well that these same group of motherfuckers using their money, this shit like they did in Germany and shit, taking over the banking system and all kinds of dumb shit, till they feel they could start doing all kinds of sacrifice on children and going back to the same old Kazarak gypsy shit and garbage, baphometical behavior that they were doing. Same as they're doing here in America. They are not from here, and they're not indigenous to this land, and they're not indigenous to even Africa in itself, other than up probably the Siberian mountains. You know what I'm saying? Talking about they from this land. Yeah, probably the Siberian mountain or Siberian monkey, probably. Talking that bullshit. And now you over there calling the Palestinian people all types of names that actually refers to you. And then talking about knocking them back into the Stone Age when you came from the Stone Age, you idiot. Now you over there doing all this bullshit and you killing like 14,000 children. Child sacrifice again. They have killed 14,000 children. And even women, mentally disabled, the elderly, the list goes on. Isn't that so? Even killing people from foreign lands, people who come there to help the Palestinian people and get supplies through, medical supplies, food, and everything else. While they're trying to go get the food, they're blowing their brains out. This is Netanyahu. And he's even killing people who come down there. May have come from America, may have come from London, may have come from wherever. And down there doing the humanitarian aid, and he's down there killing the humanitarian aids. And creep Joe Biden don't have the audacity to speak up more than he do. Shows the type of president that you have elected. An affiliator, a con man, and a fucking loser. Bum ass, jackass, just like Jackass Yahoo and his conglomerates, along with many of these demon Democrats and many other, probably even independents, Republicans, popular, whoever, all sat by and watched this go on, knowing full fucking well that those people are not indigenous to that land. You're an invader and you need to be removed. So for you to sit here and call the Palestinian people these names, and the world to sit by and go along, or even not even try its best or all its power to crack this case open wide, and to make sure that we prove without a shadow of a doubt that they are not from there. They have no land. They're a wandering wanderer, just like they said in their fake ass Bible. They're a wandering wanderer race. A complete sinner. You see. Why are you killing many people that come down there doing humanitarian aid and all type of shit? And Biden sitting right there, your so-called wannabe president, and then you talking about giving this man any kind of support. And acting as if like he did such a great job. What great job did he do other than murder people throughout his career by using the branches of our government, you know what I'm saying, along with the rest of his idiots to manipulate our government underneath the sheets while he's holding probably a senator seat, assembly, on all these different positions he worked working his way through and becoming and using all the time. He was conning, he was doing this, he was a loser, he was a bum, he was defending himself all the time for the lying ass shit that he was saying out of his mouth and many other fucking things. But meanwhile, he's in bed with all type of foreigners and all type of shit, building NATO, building a place called, we got to create a place called Israel, and so on and so on and so on. He was doing all that shit in the back burner for many, many years, working on these things throughout his career, all the way up to where he is today. You know what I'm saying? And still see the same bullshit that he was doing and built is now still out there growing, and not growing, but out there still flowing and murdering off thousands of millions of people across the planet. This is Creep Joe Biden. Broke back bitch. Motherfucking loser. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got the audacity to say they run this country. You might, well, how the fuck you did that? And if that's the case, and you say you from the land that you invaded and occupied, prove it. Prove it. And don't give me no scriptural bullshit book that you script up and say that you is the chosen people and all this other bullshit. Because I don't follow your Bible and I never will. Because you cannot prove a goddamn thing in that book that you wrote. You can't even prove you from Egypt. Don't give me that Jesus Christ, Jesus story either. Saying that you from Egypt and you was born in Bethlehem and all this other nonsense that you all see out your mouth. And ain't mere one person can prove none of this. If that's the case, Netton Jackass Yahoo, prove where you're from. Prove who you are. Prove your genetic connection to that land. Prove anything that you can prove to say that you're from that land. And don't give me that lying ass story about Moses and how you was in Egypt building pyramids, you lying son of a gun, and you know it. And then say that you left there, you know, say after battling with Moses, battling with Pharaoh, and you crossed the river and part the Red Sea, and then the God or whoever you call your creator gave you that land. You wasn't there. If he gave you the land, where was you? Because you weren't there. You're lying. You invaded the land. And that goes for for Mecca as well. Many of these things you co-opted from my people, and then you remixed it to put yourself in there. So you had to get rid of the original gods of the planet Earth in order to make yourself one. What a fraud that we see. And this is what we have in Netanyahu. That's a fraud. Tell them to prove their existence outside of a book that you wrote. This is how you created an Israel? Through that fake ass book and that line rewriting of the Bible, and then you have about 20 versions or 100,000 versions. How many versions do you need? And just because it's a version don't make it right. So let's get that straight. This is what we have to look at. You know what I'm saying? Now the next subject we have to talk about coming up is this idiot. This idiot and her comment that she made that everybody's up in arms with. You know what I'm saying? That everybody's up in arms with right now. And that is the Indiana State response after student racist video saying, if you're black, you're not country, admit Beyonce Cowboy Carter release. Now, I don't really agree with everything with Beyonce and Carter, whatever he calls himself, Jay-Z. I don't always agree with them. And I don't agree with a lot of shit with them. Let's just be honest, Beyonce and my man, Jay-Z, which I think is still one of the greatest rappers that graced the stage as well. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce works hard to do what she do and all the things they do and so on and so on. But they're entertainers. And that's it. You don't rule my world or my brains. Neither do many of those dumbass rappers with the murder music bullshit that you're pumping out every day. You don't move me. Because you know you can. So you're going to try to do that to the children. This is how the same thing with the Khazarite Jews do. You know what I'm saying? And many other individuals. You know what I'm saying? You shutting down businesses, blackballing people. Where you get this much power from? Because it just amounts to brutality in itself. So why is you claiming to be over there, but you over here as well? And all over. Using the power over here to con and swing your ass up in there and then cause a transatlantic slave trade and the removal of African people from Egypt. So you can invade and take over the land and using the language as Obama jackass, LGBTQ, bald-headed, bumphead, hey, sitting up there talking that bullshit. But like I was saying, I don't always agree with Beyonce and Jay-Z. But on this one, I got to agree. You know what I'm saying? Now we see an Indiana State University student, you know what I'm saying, is receiving backlash after, you know what I'm saying, making, you know, racist comment in a widely circulated video about black people and Beyonce influence on country music. First of all, idiot, you're not from this land either. You're a white girl. Watch your mouth and respect yourself. You see? And I see a lot of white, I hate to say this, I see a lot of white women, retarded motherfuckers, clockhead bitches. So I didn't say it. Because I don't normally say that. That think that they rule the world, and they gotta tell black people how to act or how to think, and like you, the private investigator of the sucker balls of your own kind, maybe. But at the same time, you're not from this land, so don't never tell any black person in the world that they are not country. Because all musician, even a piano, is a harp that comes from way of Egypt and Africa. What was you doing up in the Neanderthal, so-called Siberian mountains? Hmm? That's not my ancestors. That is yours. So watch your mouth. Second of all, the influence on country music did come from black people. You as a white girl or a guest in the house of country, because my people was on this land before you and your kind. Hundreds of thousands of years before you even knew where this land was, or you were still up in the Siberian mountains in the caves questing for fire. Don't give me that bullshit. Who you talking to? So when you talk about country music, they say according to the people and ABC 3340, the video was shared on social media and has since been deleted. It should have never been up there. But when I speak the truth, or I speak on my channel, mine was blackballed for 90 days. They take it down, say I violated the World Health and the this, that, and all that. Every violation they could find, it was taking my videos down. The problem still is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but hers get to circulate, you know what I'm saying, on ABC. A video was shared on social media and has since been deleted. Thank you very much. The clip surfaced following Beyonce's release of the Cowboy Carter on Monday 29th and quickly gained traction on TikTok. The CCP Chinese company. Yeah, with numerous social media users, you know what I'm saying, stitching their reactions to it. I'm sorry, but if you're black, this is the idiot woman talking, who don't know no history, don't know no vow. She can't prove anything. She can't show no research, but have the nerve to claim something that doesn't even belong to her. What she's mad about is majority of the shit that she has and her people has is not theirs. They either stole it, robbed it, invade it, take it over, just like Netanyahu and all that other good old shit. So I guess country is the last thing she wants to hold on to, that she figure, she gets claim belongs to her. You know what I'm saying? But I got news for you. It does not. And you need to do your research. I am sorry. This is her statement. I am sorry. But if you're black, you're not country. Prove that. The woman said in the video, I don't care. I don't care. And I meant that in a nice way. No, you did not. Because you don't have no historical vow on it at all. You don't have no research on it at all. My people been here on this planet Earth before your people, and you best believe that. Now, see, and across the galaxy as well. When it comes to country music, you got to remember, even going back to the slavery days, many of the slave masters and many white people were not playing any fucking music. The black people was the one playing it. The fiddlers and many others that had, was mastering those type of things. Why you think jazz, is the number one music or the number one structure of rock and roll? When you hear rock and roll and you hear that and all that stuff, what do you think that is? That's jazz. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of her historic vow is based on straight ignorance. And she needs to be chastised for it, to disrespect the gods and the original of the planet. Prove where you got instruments wrong. Prove where you got the concept of the piano. Prove the concept of many, many instruments that you call yourself playing in country music is yours. And prove that country music is a whitey thing. So stop the racism, jackass. You know what I'm saying? Learn your history first before you run your silly ass mouth. You and the rest of the white women who think that you know everything and want to tell everybody and rule everybody's life like you're a crackhead, jackass, white girl. Now I'm saying, but at the same time, she went on to say, She meant that in a nice way. I know you were, raised in this country. No, you know that we were here before you was in this country, and your kind before you. What you think? The history starts as slavery? Oh no, it doesn't, idiot. You know what I'm saying? I know you were raised in this country, or your grandparents, and your grandparents. She's saying we were raised in the country, black people. Grandparents were, I guess, that's to show you're an idiot. I guess. What's wrong with your idiot ass? Who the hell even listened to this clown ass girl? Your great granny, and your grandpappy. You know what I'm saying? Listen to that. Our great grandpappy and our great built monolithic structures and gave you alphabet, gave you writing, and gave you a whole lot more that you ain't doing no research on, you jackass. And keep on guessing because it tells us you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And then talking about granny and grandpappy. But they was picking what? Your people were picking cotton before we ever did. You better look that up. Matter of fact, many of the first slaves that were brought here were white, and they were picking as well. And even in the rural South, they had the children, the little white kids out there picking cotton and tending the farm when they should have been in school, looking dirty, matted, and screwed up. You know what I'm saying? So you better look up the history before you start talking about even picking. Okay? And anyway, they wasn't planting. See how mixed up she is? First she said picking and they wasn't planting. So they didn't have the knowledge or the know-how, 100 years before the Europeans ever, the Neanderthals, Cro-Magnons ever showed up on this land, which is your granny and grandpapa, you know what I'm saying, with their Neanderthal behind. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, okay? And then, you know what I'm saying, and then gonna turn around and say they wasn't planting. Something wrong with this poor child. Just keep that in mind. Keep what in mind? Your dumbass and your lack of history, your lack of science, your lack of many other things that took place at that time. Okay, well, we'll accept your retardation on that statement. Then she says they wasn't making money. You know what I'm saying? We the one who brought money into existence, idiot. What's wrong with you? Where do you think your people learned about money? Up in Europe? Up in the caves or something? While you were busy up there whipping yourself, talking about God punished you, and meanwhile you're pissing out the window, pissing in the water, throwing shit out the window, and infecting your people with boils and chicken pox and all kinds of different diseases. Come on now. It's time to use your head before you make statement, white girl. Anyway. And then suggesting we weren't making money. They was getting sold for money. I got news for you. Your people were the first people to do that was to be done. Look up your historical value. This is what they tell you in America and got you dummy down to think you're superior. Your people were sold into slavery many times over, especially white women up in Greece and up in the mountains up there, you know what I'm saying, when the black Moors and them showed up, and they were glad to be bought by us because your men was there doing each other in the bum and beating your ass, you know what I'm saying? So you need to get that straight and really look up. Like I said, she has no historical value. You can tell by her conversation, you know what I'm saying?